2024 was a snot rocket, middle finger, shove a shampoo bottle up your ass type of year where it just started. It started in March, where all of you who follow me on Facebook and Instagram, that's where our 13-year-old dog died, who was like my best buddy. Which that was hard, so I had to take a couple of weeks off of that. Not only was I depressed, our other dog was depressed. Like she would go to where the other dog, used to be all the time and just kind of stare, which that would break my heart. So we went, and I've never even showed a picture of Rowdy yet, have I?
I don't think so.
2 weeks later, we got a little buddy named Regular Size Rowdy, and he's what is he? I keep wanting to say Australian Shepherd, but that's not. He's a
border collie lab.
2000.
Hello, Clarice.
Never said it. Said good morning.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I will never watch that movie again, so I'll take your.
But today it's kind of tame by today's standards. Not really that bad.
Yeah, but I'm a punk when it comes to scary movies.
Same.
There is a show on MGM that I'm watching now. It's called From. And I love it. It's so good, but I cannot watch it at night. Can't watch it at night. Just can't. It's creepy.
What is the most famous line from Star Wars by Darth Vader?
Luke,
I am your father.
It was never said.
Hello, Clarice.
Never said it. It said good morning.
Really?
Never happened. So it was just like
she went up in space, but not.
She didn't leave the atmosphere.
No,
they didn't leave the Earth. Because as soon as they went up, it exploded, and that fireball that you saw going off to the side was them.
Yeah,
and they were still alive. They were alive until they hit the water. So yeah, they imagine the terror of that shit. Yeah.
For me, I love their chips and salsa. I have not gone to another restaurant that has the same chips and salsa, because most of the time restaurants like fry their chips, and my stomach can't handle that.
She got a bad guts.
Amy dips her tortilla chips in mayonnaise. She dips them in mayonnaise. Amy,
what terrorist did that nasty shit?
Like we're getting ready to order, and she's the lady brought out the chips and salsa, and she says, "Can I have a side order of mayonnaise?" Sorry. I said, "Ew, for what?" And she was like, "For my chips."
Now, who is this?
She ate them like that. My best friend.
Oh.
Yes.
Now, Amy, don't do that no more. Gross.
Now, she loves mayonnaise. She loves mayonnaise more than any person I've ever met. But that was, I was like, oh.
Did you try it?
Twisted, facts get sold. We cut through the noise, break the mold. Pop culture, scandals, history lost. We dig up the truth, no matter the cost. The Coletrane's leading, JJ's got the take. Shell drops the hammer, make no mistake. No script, no leash, no corporate chain. We wreck the rules and derail the game. This is Train Wreck D. Step up or stay out the way. You're either all in or you're just in the way.
Welcome to Trainwrecked. This is our second edition of the new, what do you call it? Not season,
What?
just a new setup and everything. What was that?
New format.
There you go. That's the word I'm looking for. And that's what I get for taking a little shot of whiskey. Anyway, welcome to Trainwrecked. This is show number 2. We had to miss, what was it? Last week or the week before that?
Last
we
week.
Made up last week. Yeah, we missed last week. Okay. And so this is basically the makeup show for that. And this is the only show where the weirder it gets, the more it just feels right. And today we're going to dive into, this is one of those things that as I knock my microphone all over the place, it's so tiny. It is. But it's better than that damn $100 Yeti that I had that I have nothing but problems. If I just so happen to bump my elbow slightly, it'll shake that thing loose and then it mutes me. And then I have to go back into settings and put Yeti back in there. It's just a big old pain in the ass. And it's embarrassing too. Let's see. Who's on YouTube comments?
We have Jake from State Farm. Hello.
Turtle is as good as I know right now. He's in his backyard pond, which is a little green right now, but we're trying to figure out if that's the pump or what the hell that might be, but he's doing all right. And hello to you, Jake, not from State Farm. He's not from State Farm. That is a copyright infringement, and you're going to get our show in trouble.
Yes,
What's
I
up, Billy? What's that?
I said I misspoke.
Yeah, you did. What's going on, Billy? The Kung Fu Society of Indianapolis. Cat is doing just fine right now. Matter of fact, I think it's rest. Yeah, it's on the bed. Not giving a damn who. I mean, it spreads all the way out too. Cat's like this big, but we'll take up the whole damn bed. Let's see. Coletrane's house be watching. You know damn well we're gonna be watching WrestleMania. Yeah, Saturday. And see, this is the only year where it's like triple goodness. Easter, 420, WrestleMania, all on one day.
Yep.
How crazy is that?
Oh, you got to add 4 because your parents are going to be here.
Oh, my parents will be here. JJ, your mic's muted, honey. Maybe she was over there farting. Didn't want nobody to hear it.
That better?
Yes.
I said hi to John because he said hi, and I said hi to all the other people.
Oh, did
Yes, I
you?
did.
Well, try it again so that way the peoples can hear you.
Hi, guys. John, how you feeling?
Where do you see John? Let me go to these comments right. Oh, that's right. Facebook has comments coming in here. I don't see John. Oh, there he is. What's going on, Mr. Walker? So like I said, today is going to be one of those weird topic days, and I decided from here on out, the Wednesday night shows are going to be just stupid shit like this that just takes you away from your day. You'll get some information and all that stuff within the entertainment, but just things that make you forget about your day, make you forget about your life at times, and make you sniggle. And tonight we have 2 subjects. We're going to go, number 1, we're going to talk about strange laws in every state that are still in the books for whatever reason. And if a law is made, somebody did the shit that they made the law against at one point.
Mm-hmm.
That mind.
Like, who did some dumb shit like that they have to put that law into effect?
Well, this generation was eating Tide Pods, so now it has on the label, do not eat, which we just kind of knew that before.
I thought we did.
And then our second topic will be, we're going to get into some mysteries, maybe some conspiracy theory type stuff. But this is the mystery of the I can't even pronounce it. I practiced this like 4 times today. Dyatlov Pass incident, which is almost like the crash in the Andes Mountains, but it doesn't really involve cannibalism or anything. People disappeared and there was a massacre, but we'll get into it later. Hopefully that's enough to tantalize you.
Yeah.
So if you are watching us live, or even if you're watching the replay, go ahead and hit like, go ahead and comment, and please hit the subscribe button. If you are already subscribed, don't hit the button again because it will unsubscribe you. So you have to look and say, if it already says subscribed, you're in there already. If it doesn't, if it says subscribe here, then do it. And I think, yep, as I look on YouTube in the very right bottom corner, there's a little bitty red square with a little red triangle in it. And if you have perfect vision, it says subscribe. If you don't, it's just a little bar. But go ahead and just click that thing anyway, and boom, subscribed. We have some stupidness here in North Kakalaki. What's going on? Other than North Kakalaki. John says Nebraska has some really stupid laws. Yes, we do.
Yes, we do.
Oh, wait a minute, John. Baby's graduating, huh?
Yep.
Is that
Whitney, not Brooklyn?
little? Okay, yeah, okay. Still, I mean, this is what freaked me out. I was thinking about my daughter in 5 months will be 21. My oldest daughter.
Oh my God.
Little baby, my baby daughter, infant baby girl daughter, and my baby next month will be 17. So that's a hard pill to swallow, because there's times I have to ask Michelle how old I am, because it's one of those things I literally forget, because it's like when you're 46, you prepare to be 47 for so long that you start saying it like around October, just to get yourself set up. And then when your birthday comes, you got so used to saying 47. It's like, shit, am I turning 48? Oh, goddamn. But,
That's true.
But I will say this. I'm one of those people that, and as all of you should, I get my physical every year. And right around this time, I just had mine last week, as a matter of fact. And everything's pretty much picture perfect. I have a cholesterol is like that, where the borderline, where the line is 200. I'm like 213. But I know people whose shit is like 500-700 and shit like that. Mm-hmm. So from what I understand, as long as your blood pressure is under control, that's the main thing you got to worry about. Because when your blood pressure is high, what happens is it begins to rip your veins at first, and then let me get to that in a minute. It kind of rips your veins up at first. So as you know, when you rip your skin or tear something, it comes back a little bit harder. It has a scab on it.
Oh, that's the way that works.
Oops, hang on. This thing just said, do I want to enable dictation? No, I do not.
What's CTE?
I can't remember what it stands for. Basically, brain injury that can give you like the dementia. The athletes that shoot themselves in the chest to make sure that their brain is spared for study, and CTE cannot be really diagnosed until after you're dead already, because they have to study slices of your brain. But you can kind of tell when some things are going on. And the ironic thing is, no, not from any kind of pro wrestling. I had a slight concussion, but not enough for any kind of CTE. But I was in a car accident when I was 16, 17, where I hit the windshield full on. And before that, I never had any kind of stutter, or never had to like think about what I have to say or anything like that. That's something I have to practice now ever since then. But it was one of those stupid things where I let my friend drive. I had a migraine, so think about that. I hit my damn head on the windshield with a migraine.
Yeah.
I remember we turned the corner and fishtailed because it was raining, and we tried to regain control. The only way I can describe it was an instant, and it was forever at the same time. It just felt like slow motion, but at the same time, it was so quick. And all I remember was after we got, the impact, and then you get snatched back, my dumb ass, the seatbelt was cutting into my neck, so I put it behind me. So I was caught by the waist, but my head hit the windshield full blast. And there was a, like on Tom and Jerry, like when they hit each other with frying pans, that's how that shit looked. It was just like a big boat out. A lot of my hair was in there. I had hair, y'all. And and it snatched a good amount out. And no, that's not why I'm bald. Genetics.
That reminds me of, did you ever watch the Boondocks?
Oh, of course.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Remember when Riley was in the car with whatever the rapper's name was, and he told him to put his seatbelt on, and he didn't put it on, and then stopped real quick, and he said, "See."
Mhm.
Yeah.
And that's what I get. And luckily though, you remember Yolanda, right? No, you were a few grades ahead.
Yes. Yolanda.
Yeah, what was her last name? Council. I used to take her and her cousin. I used to take them home after school every day. I had a Plymouth Valari, 1980.
Dang.
That bad boy was smooth though, because it was like we bought it from an old lady that just took it to church, and I know it was really what it was because she lived down the street from my grandma, so I knew this lady since I'm born. And what the hell did I do? Am I still up there?
Yeah.
Okay, hang on. Everything disappeared from my screen, so give me just okay. There we go.
And Billy, I believe Kenny was under the weather Tuesday night.
Yep.
Yeah, Kenny is there's not going to be a Thursday show more than likely either. He's going to be about a week to recover, so he had to go to urgent care, get some things taken care of. He will be fine. He just needs a little bit of rest right now. And another reason was Bob has his nerd group in Dungeons and Dragons on Tuesday. So and he made it clear in the email. He's like, yo, I'm kind of getting along with these people, so I might not be on these Tuesday shows. And I was like, hey, cool, I'll be there. But when you find a set of friends when you're an adult, that's a big deal.
Yeah.
Because they're hard to find because when you grow up with somebody, you already know all their bullshit. So like when they're telling you the bullshit, you just laugh and like, well, I was there, dude. But
right there,
adults, they have some good stories, and some of them can touch you in ways that it's just like, I let my guard down too quick on that one. And so when you find a good friend as an adult, hang on to that shit. There was another question. Where was it? I think it was a CTE one, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, and then so also when I wrestled at 12, when we're talking about amateur wrestling on the mat, I went for a double leg, and the kid was just better than me because matter of fact, this is like my second week, and this kid had been doing this shit since he was like 7. And so I'm 12, 13, something like that this time. So I'll go for a double leg, and he's just quick. So he leaps back and kind of does the little shove, which it wasn't necessarily a snap down, but it was just kind of a shove as you jump out of the way. Well, I went forehead first into the mat. And I remember, like it was yesterday, I just remember this surge just went up the side of my face, and my tongue got numb for like 15 seconds. Oh. And ever since then, I thought it was completely cured, but ever since then, there's times where if I make just too sudden a movement or something, and it can just be 1/8 of an inch, I'll just feel that zap, and it just kind of makes you, for a second, it's like a huge cramp that just ran up the side of my face. The tongue doesn't get numb anymore, but that zap sure shows up, and it just freezes you where you stand. So I've had a few stingers since then, which is you jam your neck, and it's kind of temporary. You might feel some numbness or some tingling or something like that, but it definitely not as bad as breaking your neck or your spine or anything. So after my last bump in the ring, which was how long ago was that? 2013, something like that. It's been over 10 years. But I remember there were 3 times where it was getting towards the end of the session. 3 times I hit my back, and it was like a flash headache, that was like major headache, and it just kind of goes away. And then the next time I hit, I land on my back, major headache goes away. And then that 3rd time, it was like I was just seeing spots and shit. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and roll out of the ring. I went to the bathroom, threw up, and came back and just kind of observed the rest. Hey, Tyra, how you doing, honey? Let's see. I hope those sponsors have been given to expire. No, the sponsors are good to King over there. Yes, it is, Billy. Yes, it is.
All of my friends, I think all of my friends I've known for at least 20 years. I don't know.
My closest friends, it's been 30 since about 7th grade, I believe.
shit, it might be longer than that. 20
See,
is
the one before I got to Lincoln when I was in the 3rd grade, and that group of friends. So we went to McPhee Elementary, and then that group of friends kind of peeled off to Irving when I had to go to Everett/Park. So I had to make all new friends at that point. So most of my friends that I've hung on to since junior high started right at about like 7th or 8th grade. But unfortunately, the dudes, one of the dudes I hung out with in elementary from 3rd through 7th, because even though he went to Irving, we still hung out and then just kind of peeled apart. He died 2 years ago of a stroke. And
Isn't it crazy?
this kid is a month younger than me. And
you just wonder what happened.
from what I heard, he was always a chubby kid. And what we call fat now, when we look back on the fat kids in our class, they weren't even at this level of fat.
Oh yeah.
But he was a chubby kid. And he was always about my height. And then after, adulthood, I think he got to be about 6'2". Well, since mid-junior high, we hadn't been in touch with each other. And then when I was about 25, we were at the club and I saw him. He hadn't changed. His face hadn't changed any, but he was a big boy. And then next I heard after that, he had diabetes. Next I heard after that, he lost his leg. So he was in a wheelchair. And then I remember just one day, it was on Facebook that, he had a major stroke and they had to pull the plug on him. And unfortunately, his mother was old too. I'm talking about, she was like mid 40s when she had him. So, she's close to 80. And that was her only child. So, and he was a bit of a mama's boy. So, I mean, that's just awful. And to this day, I don't know if she's still alive or not, but I know she was. I know she buried him, which is unfortunate. But
yeah, that's horrible. No parent should ever have to do that.
No, ever. So let's move on to some happier shit. Strange laws that are still in the books. So ice cream cones, cheese factories, drunk fish, all of those are a part of these stupid laws. And I guess let's start with Alabama. It is illegal in the state of Alabama to carry an ice cream cone in your back pocket.
Why?
Why? Back in the day, horse thieves would lure horses away with ice cream because technically the horses followed them
Instead of being stolen.
They didn't steal it. So lawmakers shut down that nonsense right away, and that's exactly how they wrote it.
That's crazy.
Oh,
So there's different states that try to update laws that don't need to be updated, such as women's rights, protecting women,
sleeves in Congress.
But this kind of shit they let
But they
slide.
don't get rid of this dumbass shit that has nothing to do with what would actually happen in today's world.
Yep. Okay. I know I got a bunch of Nebraskans here, so I got to go straight there.
Yeah.
Our host JJ is currently still trapped in Nebraska. Can't get out. Surrounded by fields and tornadoes and Klan members. Oh my God. I didn't even read this at first, but okay, pay attention. In Nebraska, listen up, churchies. In Nebraska, burping in church is an arrestable offense.
Whoops.
So now that info's out there, do what you will.
What about farting?
It doesn't say anything about that, but it expressly mentions burping.
Only burping.
Only burping.
All right.
I'm sure there's some other stupid shit.
It's illegal to harpoon a whale in Nebraska. Where would one find a whale in Nebraska?
There's so many
Somebody
whales
went on
in
a whale
Nebraska.
expedition, and that's
Crazy.
okay. Ohio, you can't get a fish drunk in Ohio. Stop that shit.
What do you put them in a
aquarium full of liquor? I mean, how does that even work?
It doesn't even have a reason.
All
It
right.
just says possibly refers to animal cruelty. Oh my God, this is still in the books. Vermont. Thought you guys were real liberal up there in Vermont. It is illegal for a woman to wear false teeth without written permission from her husband. Let's just take a collective breath and appreciate how ridiculous that sounds.
What?
Yes.
That makes you
y'all wear
wonder
some
about
false teeth
where-
in Vermont and y'all don't have express written consent from Major League Baseball and your husband, not just your husband, you are breaking the law, madam.
Where are we going, Tyra? I wasn't made aware of this.
She just didn't know. Where are you moving? Where are you taking her to? Do they have padded walls?
Probably.
Okay. Where's everybody from? Throw out a state other than Nebraska. And while I'm looking at that, in Connecticut, in order for pickles to be legal, they must bounce. If your pickle doesn't bounce, it ain't legal.
Why does a pickle need to be legal? It can't be called a pickle. Is that what
it must be their health standards or whatever? I don't know, but if it don't bounce,
be a Vlasic. They can't be one of those limpy ones.
Yeah.
See, Kansas.
I know they got some stupid ass laws.
Oh my God!
Stupid ass people come from there.
Oh my God! Okay. Kansas, it's illegal to sing the alphabet on the streets at night.
All right.
Thank you, Gabby. And somebody else said that earlier too, and I thank that person.
Yes.
Let's see the other state.
It is all Coletrane. He did everything, all the music, all the video, all the background, everything. He's super talented.
Music, lyrics, all that. I've been in the basement just chipping away. Mississippi. All right, in Mississippi. Oh my God. In Mississippi, for whatever reason, it's illegal to teach others what polygamy is. I think that's something that's probably in a few states right about now.
Probably
banning books and shit like that. But yeah, if y'all explaining polygamy, y'all are breaking the law. Oh, and further,
but you're not breaking the law if you are a polygamist.
Yeah, unless you're trying to teach somebody. Just keep it to yourself. Further on that belching thing in Nebraska, parents can be arrested if their child can't hold back a burp during church service.
What?
Oh my
God! When they're about to say amen and that shit just
Here
goes
goes
them cuffs on you. Let's see,
Indianapolis, Indiana,
which is in Indiana.
I was like, that's not a state. Where's that? It's been a while.
Oh my God. Okay. I got to read this twice. Okay. Mustaches are illegal if the bearer has a tendency to habitually kiss other humans. So if you're kissy, you got to get that shit off your face first. Somebody brought that up. It went through the House, their Senate, went to their governor, was signed and passed, and possibly celebrated. This shit.
Right?
My God.
Too bad we don't have the article about how dirty facial hair can be. Maybe that's why
anybody with a beard that's even a little bit more than an inch, you 100% have microfecal matter. Just because when you flush the toilet, you flush the toilet, that microscopic shit goes out. If you're out in nature, there's animal scat microbes and all that kind of shit.
I mean, I understand other stuff, but fecal matter, they had to call that out like that.
Well, they were saying too,
there
was some guy that did an experiment years and years ago where he put on a what are those friendship bracelets that you have to weave or whatever?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And he wore it for a year straight and then took it to the whatever science lab, and there was a bunch of fecal matter in that too. And
I'm sure.
But it was his non-dominant wiping hand. So that was so there's just it's in the air all over the place. That's why you got to wash your hands all the time. Nasties. See, COVID done told us about y'all because some of y'all want to wash your hands because that's why all the soap just disappeared all of a sudden.
Yeah, exactly.
I think I told the story. It was shortly after the pandemic lifted when I was finally, brave enough to go back into Walmart. This is not a made-up story. I remember being in the bread aisle, which is adjacent, like you can look and see where the meat aisle is. And there's this big hillbilly dude with like a nasty beard. And of course, his ass crack is hanging out of his sweatpants. He's checking the meat, reaches down his drawers to scratch his ass, sniffs it, scratches again, and goes back to shuffling meat. I didn't get no meat that day. Because that was just, I know it's packaged and everything, but just that sight was like.
all the bacteria that is transferred to all of the.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. Other people are picking this shit up too. And probably scratching their nose and. And some people just have an oral fixation where I've seen adults still suck their thumb. Or I've seen adults where they do this shit all the time. They have to have something in their mouth at all times. And a lot of times your hands ain't the cleanest thing to put up in there. You'd be better off putting your foot in your mouth. Let's see. Idaho. Guys, if you're going to get your lady chocolates, you best just not. Because it is illegal for a man in Idaho to give his sweetheart a box of candies weighing less than 50 pounds.
What? It better not nobody ever give me 50 pounds of chocolate.
Right?
What's up, Patriots? For Girth Brooks. I know who that is.
What's up?
Let's see. Anybody else with a state? Well, good. I'm just going to give a few more then. I'm going to try to find the most ridiculous one. And because there's got to be a winner on this. South Carolina minors can't play pinball. Boring.
Arizona. Did you say one for Arizona yet?
Okay. In Arizona, donkeys are prohibited from sleeping in the bathtub. Quit that, y'all. But you know what? I can see that because there are wild burros and shit here.
Really?
And, back in like when Mexico owned the land and the Indians were here, they use burros and shit all the time. So, because donkeys are pack animals, like they'll carry all your shit while you ride the horse. But apparently people were putting them in their bathtubs to go to sleep, and you can't do that. Okay, how about this one? And this is, the prisons would be full if they enforced this. Arkansas. If you are in the state of Arkansas, it is illegal. Actually, it's unlawful to unlawful to mispronounce the state name. It's strictly Arkansas, not Arkansas, etc.
I don't know why people are still
sensitive.
Yeah,
like buck up. God damn. Let's get 2 or 3 more. Let's
tell me something about California, because
that's what I was just gonna say. California.
This one is, I can see where this one came from because California used to be a big like sheeping and cow towns and stuff. Hollywood, in Hollywood, it's illegal to drive more than 2,000 sheep down Hollywood Boulevard at one time. Womp, womp.
Yeah.
Here's another one. Also in California, no whistling for lost canaries before 7 a.m.
For lost canaries.
Lost canaries.
Specifically. This strange sounding
whistle for anything else
related to early morning noise ordinance. Either way, you better hope your bird stays home until after sunrise. Wow. Let's see. There was one I just saw that was really stupid. This is more fucked up than stupid. In Iowa, if you are a one-armed piano player, you must perform for free. I'd say get mad. Right?
Yeah, I mean, you're at a disadvantage anyway, so you should get paid double.
Oh, let's go back to church, y'all. Delaware. It's illegal to whisper in church. We all be in jail.
Yeah. Yeah.
We all do that. And then we get popped.
Believe what you
And
said.
as grown-ups, it's like,
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
look, what
We still get that look from the elders, though.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Last few times I went to church, it was for a funeral. I don't even remember what happened there.
But they're like church services when they do that. Like, we didn't come to go to church. Tell me about the person in the box.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay, since I'm on the show with Kenny, Kentucky, that's some dumb shit. It's illegal to dye a duckling blue and offer it for sale unless more than 6 are for sale at once. I'm trying to sell no 5 blue ducks. Get that.
With your friends.
I don't know where that, like, somebody got a bad deal, and that's
what happens if you had 6 and then you sold only one of them. Then do you get in trouble because you don't have the 6 still?
Evidently. You better have, if you're gonna paint them blue,
only if you're gonna paint them blue.
All 6 of them blue. Don't you understand this?
It doesn't make any sense. These laws are crazy.
Oh my God, I didn't know this. All right, Colorado. It's illegal to set a mousetrap without a hunting license. Yeah.
Okay. What if you just buy a cat?
Yeah. Oh, I feel like Dave Letterman. And let's see. Did we do Texas already?
I don't think so.
No.
Feels like that'd have been right where I'd have went to. Just end it off with Texas unless it sucks. It's illegal to sell your eye. Okay. I'm gonna have to find something else because that is not a good way to go out.
I'm doing pretty good, Jake. Thank you for asking. How are you?
Okay, last 2.
Sorry, that was just
Washington State. It's illegal to harass Bigfoot. Leave him alone. And in West Virginia, whistling underwater is prohibited.
Is that possible?
It's impossible.
I don't know.
I
guess you can blow bubbles out, so you could probably whistle. You just don't want to suck it back in. You know, you can only whistle out. You can't whistle in.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just seems like, I don't know. That's just dumb.
Abby at the checkout with the mousetrap.
Yeah, you know they can't be enforcing that shit. Let me see here. With this new format, there's a whole bunch of new shit that I haven't got to play with yet because I know over on the left side it shows like huh?
I said me either. So if y'all see me messing up, just
well, I will say that you can catch me on my Instagram at Jaded_Coletrane. Trainwreck is, let's see, I haven't used that one. Are you still doing that one, JJ? I forgot we had that, to be honest.
So did I.
Our show Instagram it's Trainwreck_D. Jaded Zen Entertainment's Facebook is just type in Jaded Zen Entertainment in Facebook. And our official YouTube page, you should be on here. You should be clicking the subscribe button. If you're not, I don't know why, but it is /@Jaded Zen. All easy stuff to remember. JJ and I in the next couple of weeks are going to be coming out with another series where basically she's the angel, I'm the devil.
Imagine that.
But we'll be talking about the 7 sins and the 7 virtues. And it's not just going to be a one-off. Like we're not just going to have like one of wrath and yada, yada, yada. this will be a weekly thing, so there's always going to be something to talk about. And then, of course, Miss JJ comes in with the prudence and all the good stuff. Matter of fact, here's her background. Listen to this nonsense. Got the harps and everything.
It's a little angel.
It's an angel. Let's see. Where's my other shit? See, that's the only thing I wish they had is you have to scroll way up and down to your videos. I wish they had it to where it was like kind of gridded. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I showed this. I don't know if I actually showed this to the last audience, but you can't unsee this. All of you guys, and I've seen people say this shit online, and you're lying. Talking about sexy red is actually attractive. Well, if you grew up in the 70s and 80s and you know that show was happening, I think that's Roger's daughter.
That's what I thought when you showed it to me. I was like, what?
Yeah. I don't know why she named herself that. And people are co-signing on that shit too. People who think that, racism is long gone and just, it's a whole new era. Everything was just so long ago. Think about this. Ruby Bridges is 70.
She's
My
only
aunt
70.
was 72.
Mm-hmm.
And she's still young. The first black child at an all-white public school just turned 70. She has an Instagram account.
They threw shit at her. They called her names. They spit on her.
It was disgusting.
But people are upset about their kids learning about that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I mean, what do you think? What do you think kids would say when they do learn the truth? Do you have any idea?
In the pictures and be like, "Is that you, Grandpa?"
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Do you think they'd be offended though?
They'd be offended at how they treated this poor child.
But I mean, do you think they would feel guilty like the adults are saying they would?
Oh, no. They would be looking at their elders and saying, what the hell was wrong with you?
Huh. Okay, well, let's see what they would actually say.
White. Do you feel guilty after reading the story of Ruby Bridges? She said, no, I felt sad. I said, did you feel sad that you were white? She said, no, I felt sad that Miss Bridges went through that, and I felt sad that the white people in the story didn't find something better to do. I understand the concern, but respectfully, that is a white concern. I have the luxury of not having to think about my skin color here where I live and where I've grown up, because it has always been, if anything, an advantage or a non-issue. But for many children and many families, that's not the case.
Truth.
So apparently kids, and I have another video that I'll show next week, but the kids themselves acting like, what the hell are you talking about? Why would we feel guilty? So it's, the only thing that people are afraid of is, your grandchildren are going to see you in those textbooks.
Exactly.
And because they already caught Jerry Jones's ass, the owner of the Dallas Cowboys.
Mm-hmm.
He was there in Arkansas, standing within the crowd of those girls or those people that were throwing rocks, and said, now, of course, he was saying he was just there to see what was happening.
Mm-hmm.
But, why were you so close? Why'd you have such a good seat?
Right.
That's what.
And why didn't you stop it?
Yeah. But, of course, it's never, you're only sorry when you get caught.
Yep.
Unless you actually have a real revelation, but seldom do people have those unless they're caught, incarcerated, in danger, etc.
Yep.
Any new comments since I've been running my mouth?
Billy Sellers said that he's going to start a podcast soon.
You are not, Billy. Are you really? What's it going to be called, bud? And what's it going to be about?
In the loop. Let us know what it is.
Don't just jump on with stream of consciousness because you feel like you can do it and then you freeze up and you ain't got no notes. So make sure you plan ahead, dude. That's key. You ain't gonna have all these graphics and shit. I just like them, so makes it feel a little bit more show busy. So our next topic is the mystery of the Dyatlov Pass incident. I said it right.
You said it right.
Did it. So the incident itself, and this is going to be like where we kind of let the audience be what they call them, sleuths and gumshoes and detectives. That's what I'm trying to say. All right. February 1959. 9 experienced Russian hikers died under bizarre, unexplained circumstances in the Ural Mountains. Their tents were found cut open from the inside. Some were nearly naked in freezing temperatures. Some had blunt force trauma. One woman's tongue was missing. Now, here's the key facts. The group leader was Igor Dyatlov, hence the Dyatlov Pass. It was in a place that I'm not going to try to pronounce the Russian name, but basically it means dead mountain. So imagine that. Bodies were scattered in various states, some with crushed ribs and skulls, some with no shoes or coats. Radiation was found on the clothing. Orange tinted skin and gray hair found on some bodies. Now, some of the leading theories are possible avalanche. And this is as of 2020. Sudden snow shift caused panic and evacuation, though injuries and tent behavior still don't fully match. Feature me one. Yeah, you something, girl. Catabolic wind theory. Let's try this again. A rare weather phenomenon. Good night, Billy. That can create terrifying wind pressure, prompting panic, and that's going to bring another story about how God hates me in a little bit. Possible military involvement. Some speculate they saw something they weren't supposed to see, like missile testing. Then, of course, you got the alien folk. Some point, due to radiation, strange injuries, and unusual skin tones as signs of something extraterrestrial, or possibly a nuclear meltdown. Or this, a Yeti attack. Made famous by pop culture, but not supported by any physical evidence. So what we're wondering is, why did experienced hikers leave their tents so suddenly and undressed? I mean, just getting out there butt naked in the snow ain't a good idea. What caused the extreme injuries with no external wounds? That's kind of what makes some of this iffy. Why was there radiation on some of the clothing? And why were they climbing in such poor conditions? So basically, we're going to go with, what are your theories? Like, let's start with JJ.
Well, you said something about they found orange skin. Was it wig? Was wig out there then? When was that?
1959. And no, I don't think Russians were finding any kind of weed in that weather. Is that what you said? Weed?
No, wig. W-I-G. Trump.
Oh, no.
His hair looks like a wig.
Now, their skin was tinged orange. Many of them.
I don't know. I don't have the slightest guess. I mean, you could say Sasquatch, but what's up with the orange skin?
Yeah.
Wouldn't Sasquatch give you external injuries? You would think.
You would think, but then again, like some people, like, a boxer can get hit in the ribs and their ribs can be broken without any splitting of the skin or anything like that.
But wouldn't it
blunt force trauma? You would think, but you don't bruise after you die. So if something,
blood stops flowing,
if something killed you immediately, the blood just stops and it pulls up wherever the lowest point is.
Right.
So here's what they found. The tent was torn to shreds. Shoes and clothes all left behind. Yeah, after a while it does, because once you start going crazy, you feel like you're heating up. Yeah. And you start feeling like the temperature is normal. And that's when you're pretty much gone at that point.
Yeah, because you're delusional at that point.
Bodies found at various distances in states of undress. Some barefoot, some with massive internal injuries, but no external wounds. One woman, Dubinina, oh, that's unfortunate, had her tongue and eyes missing. Clothing on some of the body showed high levels of radiation. Inside the tent, no sign of a struggle. Footprints showed calm departure, walking, not running. Some died of hypothermia. Others suffered injuries akin to a car crash. Bodies were found over a kilometer apart, some under snow. Dubinina's tongue was missing, but no one knows if it was from animals, injury, or something else.
Animals, they just came in and took her tongue and her eyes.
Yeah.
You know, some people buy them beef tongues and make soup out of it. So maybe they were going to make human soup. I don't know. But
weird.
Yeah, so it's like, again, the theories are avalanche, which I don't know. To me, like, even if it's an avalanche, you're still grabbing shit as you go. You know, you're not just trying to run out. And I mean, you know, you don't know unless you're in the situation, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, especially if they were asleep or something.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, they could have been startled awake in the process, and they're trying to get away as much as possible, and that's how they got the 1 kilometers away from each other.
Yeah.
But didn't you say the tent was destroyed
from the inside?
From the inside.
From the inside.
So maybe it's something they ate.
And they had violent diarrhea and died.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Then they say the catabolic winds, which intense localized windstorms, they could have caused the group to flee, which I can see that because we're going to go back to why God hates me. So that last episode, we talked about when the cat and the turtle ran away and I cussed out God. And all of a sudden we found the cat and the turtle in one piece, not, you know, a hair, anything messed up. But I got fucked up over the next 4 months. Like injuries, projects that just fell apart. For the 5th time in a row, we built either a canopy, a greenhouse, or whatever. So this time, instead of just buying the regular canopy, I bought a carport, which is steel and canvas and heavy. So we build this son of a bitch. The weather's clear as just can be. And, you know, we're tired after we're done because we kind of did it like, you know, young dudes do condoms all the time. Do it backwards a little bit and then put it on the right way. You know, we would have shit that would have backwards and they have to fix it. So we were tired, went to bed. Next day, I thought I heard wind, but it was a clear day for the most part. But I swore I heard like the whistling wind for just a few minutes. All right. So later on, Shell comes in all big-eyed saying, didn't we put up the carport yesterday? And I'm looking at her crazy like, yes, fool. She said, well, it's gone. It's like, I'll be goddamn. So we went out, and where we live, there we have one of those big stone walls. Just over that wall is like a slight grassy hill, some trees, and a basketball court / park. That some bitch had just tipped right over the wall and was just
right
hanging
over the wall.
So we have to go around, you know, undo it, unbuckle everything, and throw it back over, put it in the greenhouse that's already staked and anchored down. Because I even said that night.
White. Did you feel guilty after reading the story of Ruby Bridges? She said no.
That's not what I said. But I said that night, like, yeah, we can just stake it tomorrow because it's, you know, the weather's good. There's nothing in the forecast or anything. But John, yes, it was a damn microburst. It was just sudden and just took that sumbitch up. And the thing is, that has happened the last 5 times I've put something up. And not that it just happens all the time. It happens when I do it. Like there's no weather until I put that fucker up and leave. But the one thing I will say is our bigger greenhouse, which is 20 by 10, which blew away last week. The stakes I got were those cork stakes that are like 16 inches and you actually put a drill in there. And, you know, I opened all the windows and everything. And this time it just blew right through. So, yeah. So at least I know the stakes work. But God damn, I was pissed because I was all proud. Bad boy was up. You know, it was like 20 degrees cooler in there as soon as you walk in because it's canvas. It's, what is it? It's 20 by 10, right?
Shit, I don't even know. It's huge.
Yeah, it's 20 feet long.
It's bigger than I thought it would be, actually.
Yeah, it's huge. I mean, it's big enough for a truck.
Yeah.
So, and what I'm turning it into is a performance center. So, like, I'm putting the big, like, leg presses and all that kind of stuff. And on the other side, it's just gonna be kind of a chill place where I got hammocks, TV, put the fans up in there and stuff like that. It's a place I can get away from my wife. No,
That would be his man cave.
pretty much. Well, it is going to be a performance center / studio, actually.
Yeah.
So a lot of our recording and everything will be there, so I don't have to keep dragging it out. But yeah, just it was literally every time, and before and after, no weather. Soon as I put the motherfuckers up, just gone. So I'm however long I got to deal with this. I got my baby's animals back. My babies are happy. That's I'm as happy as my saddest child. So it worked out for them. If I got to continue to take these ass whoopings, I guess I'll take them. But I need to find a way to get paid for that shit.
Next time we know not to be lazy and just spend a little extra time and actually
it'd have been 10 additional minutes. But at the same time, I remember I was so drained because I hadn't really drank water or eaten anything. I was sitting on the couch talking to my youngest, and I just started kind of like a sweat started beating up, and I started feeling hot and almost like you're about to go down. And I was like,
blood sugar dropped.
Yeah. And I was like, baby, can you give me some carbs or something? She brought me back one of them Hawaiian rolls, and as soon as I ate that, I was back. But yeah, I just exerted myself. And the reason why is usually in Arizona, you look out, it's sunny. You go out, it's hot, and so you can correlate sunny, hot, get your ass inside. It was about 90 degrees, but it was overcast. And so it didn't feel as hot as it actually was. And it was a little bit muggy. So when I look back on it, I did notice that I was sweating a lot more, but it just felt like, when you drink a big bunch of water and that's just water that's coming off you, it just felt like that real wet sweat. But apparently my body was draining myself of resources that it needed. So not good. There's one more theory going back to this pass. Infrasound, that possibly a low frequency sound wave from the wind or something else may cause panic or hallucinations. So yeah, so think about that shit. Maybe come up with your own answers, because we'll talk about it for maybe 5 minutes next week. That's kind of what we're going to do. Like, we're going to do some mystery shit. We'll come back to it next week for 5 minutes, then move on to some other shit.
I'm surprised that there wasn't something about aliens as one of the suggestions.
Yeah, there was.
I was going to say, I think you said there was.
Because of the glowing orange orbs and all that kind of shit.
Okay.
So there is an official ruling, but we're not going to tell that until next week. Speaking of next week, I forgot the notes. I thought I had it right here. You guys hang tight. I'll be right back. Talks amongst yourselves.
So how's your week been?
Long, and it's only Wednesday.
Yeah.
It's just been long. I don't know what the deal is, but my
Friday can't be here soon enough, huh?
Favorite holiday is coming up, so I've been looking forward to that.
Did your little one have Friday off of school?
Yes.
Good. Yep.
Yeah, but I still have to go to dialysis.
Oh. Is that super early in the morning?
Is that the dog?
It's like, yes. Is
it ours or yours?
Hers.
It's I have to be there by 10:45. So.
Oh, okay. Well, at least it's not super early. Yeah.
Yeah.
Before we get out of here, I do want to let you guys know about Friday's episode, which is the recorded version where we talk a little bit more about serious stuff. Episode is going to be titled Under Pressure, Navigating the Stressful Landscape of Today. So basically, it's going to be about stress and how to alleviate it. Let's see, they're generally supposed to drop at 9 Eastern, which would be 6 my time. So I better schedule that shit where it's supposed to be. But anyway, we're going to be learning about the dangers of stress, coping mechanisms, all that kind of stuff. So
When she
Again,
heard the
our
toy.
Friday shows will be more about mental, emotional health, illness, and wellness. That's just what we do around here. So remember, that is Friday at 9 Eastern. And so that would be what?
9 a.m.
Yep.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It'd be 6 our time.
You're
Yeah,
up that
6
early?
Pacific. It's pre-recorded, honey.
Oh,
Remember how we
but you
did
have to put it on there, right?
what? No, I just schedule it.
Yeah, you schedule it. But unfortunately, I will be up that early.
Yeah, I
Work.
probably will be too.
Yeah.
Listen to my damn
Okay,
self.
so when Rainey perked up when she heard the dog toy.
The
Is that-
squeaking, yep.
Mhm.
yeah, that's what.
Next week for our Wednesday live show, we are going to discuss Operation Paul Bunyan, the time the United States went to war over a tree. And our Friday episode will be called Too Connected, Still Alone, The Loneliness in the Age of Constant Contact, aka social media.
Mhm.
So those are what we will be tackling. If you have not subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button. Make sure it doesn't already say subscribed. If it says subscribe, hit it. If it already says subscribe, leave it alone. Because the only reason I'm saying this is because I'll notice like people will subscribe and then the number will go down one. And then I'll see that same person subscribe, and then that number will go down one, and that same person will subscribe. And it's not just one person; it's happened to a few people.
I
So,
be doing that shit all the time.
yeah, so I just want to let you know
I subscribed.
if you've already hit the subscribe button, you are subscribed. But at any rate, I'm getting tired. My mouth's getting dry. I'm getting a little bit hungry, so I'll drink a little rye. That was pretty good, wasn't it? Good night, Christy. And good night to the rest of you. Remember to catch us on Friday morning at 9 Eastern, 6 specifically. And our live show is always at 10 p.m. Eastern on Wednesdays, 7 p.m. Pacific and AZ time. So again, subscribe, like, comment, make us famous. But whatever you do, just come back. Thanks for joining us, for JJ and for the Shellium lady.
Bye, guys.
See ya.
See you next week. Take care.